What's going on, guys? Call of Duty. Yes, I know you're probably like, well, I don't subscribe to you for Call of Duty. Wait, you post Call of Duty? Well, yes, if you're new, back in the day, Call of Duty was something that I posted. And if you've been around the channel for a really long time, which some people have, I've been doing this for quite a while, actually. I realized the other day. There was a few things I wanted to talk about, and I was like, well, I'm going to wait till the dust kind of settles, because the one thing I'm not is someone who likes to take advantage of certain events around either the community or just in the world in general in order to get more views. And this whole Hutch thing is something that I was just like, well, I wanted to talk about it a little bit, but I didn't want to make a spectacle video out of it and make it seem like you were trying to capture views that would arise from people interested in seeing it. But if you don't know, it's weird, the way I got into doing this whole thing didn't start with necessarily Call of Duty, but one of the things I started posting pretty regularly, not on this channel, but on my first channel, which a lot of people probably don't know about. In fact, I would say 100% of you guys don't know about, was I used to record like COD 4 and World at War gameplay through my TV tuner card on my computer, which was a really long time ago, and I would just upload full gameplays of that. So needless to say, I've been around for a while, back in the standard definition days, and it was weird seeing this whole video about Hutch leaving and everything, and because I personally I wasn't surprised when I heard it, because I had noticed that things were changing there. It just seemed like things weren't the same. I think that I can't speak for him, obviously. I've met him at PAX. We had a really good time. We had some drinks at the W Hotel. I got to meet all the Machinima crew, and they were legit good people. And I think that the atmosphere has just gotten to the point where sometimes it's kind of embarrassing to consider to consider yourself a COD player. I mean, I don't have anything wrong with the game. I know a lot of you Battlefield guys probably hate Call of Duty to the core, but it's just a video game. I mean, if you don't like it, don't play it kind of situation. Like, I don't feel like it's any different than, I don't really know how I can explain it without sounding like I'm like being too neutral on it. Yes, Modern Warfare 3 sucks. Yes, Modern Warfare 2 sucked. But Call of Duty has its moments. Like, I love World at War. It's probably my favorite first-person shooter, or one of my favorites. Along with, I liked COD 4, but I liked World at War better. I mean, that's just how it all is. But I loved COD 4 too. It was one of the first console shooters I played pretty regularly. I mean, granted, I did play Halo, but far as like a more faster paced type shooter, because Halo can be slow paced at times. I mean, sometimes it can be really fast paced, but sometimes it can be really slow. There's no denying that. And I've always just been a gamer. If you go back and look at some of my original videos, my first video was Sniper Ghost Warrior, and you're probably like, what is that? Well, it's a really silly Xbox game, and I also had it on PC. I don't know why I had it on I got it for free on PC, that's why. And I posted gameplays from that, and it wasn't a very popular game, but I was just doing it for fun. I was just hanging out, having a good time. And I think that a lot of people tend to lose that kind of perspective when they look at this kind of thing. I mean, it has become a business, don't deny that. I mean, even I, to a certain degree, put out videos with the expectations of views, because I pay my student loans with the money I make off my channel. I mean, I don't feel like I should be feeling dirty about that. I mean, I don't make that much, but it's something that kind of relieves the pressure off me, since, it's not the easiest time in the world right now. And, it's become a business, and there's no denying that. It was inevitable to become a business. That's why so many people have been talking about the community, and it just doesn't seem like that's the right term for the whole situation we're in gaming. I think that gaming itself is just, it was more of a transition into what it was eventually going to become, because gaming itself is a monetization of monetization of fun, and that's what people I don't know why people were surprised that gaming kind of corrupted into this sort of where'd that guy come from? I'm losing my train of thought. But I don't know why people were kind of surprised that gaming became what it came in terms of like gameplay commentaries, being monetized and stuff like that. It was just the whole notion of video games itself is to make money from people having fun. So then, therefore, when you put it up on the internet and people start watching it, obviously people are going to try to capitalize on that. I mean, it doesn't mean that we're in some sort of like, you know, degraded state now. I mean, it's pretty much the same as it used to be. Yes, it used to be smaller back then, but anything can be like that. I mean, if it was smaller, it was smaller. That means there's less people less bad guys, I guess you could say. I mean, yeah, those were technically the glory days, the golden age, but it's not like now if you play Call of Duty, you're a bad person. Now if you post gameplay videos, you're a bad person. Yes, there's more people doing it. Yes, the market's more saturated. That's because more people know about it. More people have the means to do it. Technology's evolved. People are monetizing this, and it's just something we have to learn to expect, I guess. But you can tell the quality on this video is pretty low. Because this is a really old video. I recorded this, man. This is probably 2 years old, maybe more. I mean, this is back when I first started recording, and I recorded with a standard definition like TV tuner card that kind of upscaled it into HD, and I thought it looked pretty good because this isn't recorded with an HD PVR. No, this is not an HD PVR. This is recorded with a TV tuner card, and like I said, it's upscaled into 720. And those were the days where it was just you in Call of Duty. I posted full-length gameplay, and that was it. It was funny because I actually couldn't record sound back then, unfortunately. But I mean, it was still a fun game. It was still a good time, and back then commentary didn't matter. I mean, it was just all about the gameplay. But I guess I'm kind of reminiscing here, and I'm probably getting pretty redundant in my whole thing. But the biggest thing I wanted to get out of this is that the world doesn't end that he left Machinima. He was a really good guy, a good person, but he probably had his reasons. And I mean, to me, I felt a little bit empty when he said he left, and I was thinking about that. I was like, why should I feel like that? I mean, that's kind of weird. I mean, it's just like he's just a person. He has goals in his life, probably playing video games and stuff like that, and being a person that works for Machinima. Maybe that wasn't his goal. Yeah, it may seem to most people that was the best job in the world, but to him, maybe that's not what he wanted to do with his life. So there's a lot of things we have to consider in terms of why he left, and I don't really think it was because the community was just so horrible. I mean, if it was, but I don't think that he would let something like that get to him. I think that Call of Duty, it wasn't that big of a part of his life anyways at the time, so it probably wasn't something that influenced him. But I know this was a completely random video, but yeah, COD 4 for the win, playing something different for a change, and I just felt like rambling on for a while like the good old days. But I'll see you guys later. Peace.